Start off by asking what SUNY Best is and what this organization has to offer to the community.
Okay, well, SUNY Best is a collaborative between business and education, government, and the general public, really, to assess and evaluate ways to improve the economy of the upstate region, greater Binghamton area, and also the well-being of the community.
What made you decide to join SUNY Best?
Well, really, 3 or 4 different reasons. One, I'm personally interested in helping the community to make progress. Number 2, SUNY Best provides a lot of contacts, and I'm currently working on projects that resulted from the people that I've met at SUNY Best. And third, I'm a graduate of the Binghamton University, and Binghamton University plays a very big role in our regional development, and I'd like them to be successful. I'm a retired executive from the utility industry. I've had a lot of experience in strategic planning, economic development, mergers and acquisitions, and project management. I'm also a lifelong resident of the Southern Tier, and I plan to stay here and have a very keen interest in making our community as competitive as it possibly can be.
Tell us about some of the SUNY Best programs and initiatives that you believe have helped the region.
Okay, well, first, there's a lot of information and programs that have been provided. SUNY Best was started in 2008. It came before the Regional Economic Development Council. During that time, there have been over 48 presentations on a variety of topics. All of these are available online. Their service is free and open to the public, and so it's a tremendous resource. Specific initiatives are highlighted and pursued. STEM is one of those. I think SUNY Best will play a very key role in making Binghamton, greater Binghamton, a startup community.
There are a number of factors that influence the quality of life and economic development of the region. What are some strengths of greater Binghamton area and Southern Tier?
Well, I think we have a lot of strengths. I think our region is underrated. We have a tremendous history in technology and culture and sports. At one point, we were the 3rd highest producer of patents in the country, and so that's a tremendous background. A lot of those people still live in this community. We have a lot of cultural and sports avenues for enjoyment, more than any other community, I think, of this particular size. We have a growing healthcare business and a growing education business. Those are very important to us, and they help balance the loss of technology jobs.
There are also a number of factors that have negative influence. What do you see as major barriers to economic prosperity of the region?
Well, number 1 has been the decade loss of technology jobs in our region. And along with that has been an increase in poverty. A couple decades ago, we were better than the state average in terms of poverty, and today we're quite a bit worse than the state average. So those are 2 very significant issues. All the planning and things that have been taking place are trying to offset those, but we still haven't moved the needle on those 2 major activities. I think we do have regulatory burdens and high tax rates in New York State and upstate New York. I think in the long run we do have to make some progress in making changes in those particular areas. And those are the major topics, I think.
How is SUNY Best as an organization, and how is your involvement in SUNY Best have helped the region address these sort of issues that you mentioned?
Yeah, well, one thing is we're putting a spotlight on things. We've done some work on benchmarks, and we know the benchmarks of our community and what needs to be improved. We'll be doing some case studies and best practices. One that we're currently working on is creating a startup community. One community that has done this very well is Boulder, Colorado, which has a greater area population of about ours, 250,000. And creating a startup community is extremely important for future job growth for our area.
How do you feel about the potential SUNY Best brings to the economic development landscape?
Well, I think SUNY Best and Binghamton University in general are very critical to our progress. SUNY Best, of course, is highlighting various issues, making that information available to the general public as well as to professionals. And so we'll have programs and projects that will take place as a result of that, which will speed up our performance. But speaking more broadly, Binghamton University is playing roles in a number of different ways. First, the growth in students. We're going to have about 20,000 students according to the plan. The most important thing there is these are resources that are coming into our community, new ideas, very bright people. These people are going to, help shape our future and provide future entrepreneurs and business folks as well. Binghamton University is bringing on very many projects. The incubator project for downtown, the pharmacy research and education center in Johnson City. All of those are very significant. The decision many years ago to bring more education resources into downtown Binghamton was also very important, and you can begin to see the positive aspects of that at the moment, and that will only continue as we provide more dorm space and academic activities down. Creating of an innovative urban area is very critical to long-term development, and I think both Binghamton University and SUNY Broome will play a role in that.
So you believe that higher educational opportunities or higher educational institutions definitely help foster the economic development?
Oh yes, without a doubt. If we didn't have that, it would be a much bigger challenge. But with that, I think great things can come of it. Now, we have a lot of work to do. One of my highest priorities right now is the formation of a startup community in Greater Binghamton so that we can improve some of our statistics in terms of venture capital per capita and reduce the outward migration of young adults. And it requires a different culture. An entrepreneurial community does not operate out of a hierarchy, it operates out of a network. It's open, there are really no boundaries. We try to map out all the resources that we have available in the Greater Binghamton area. We try to connect those to the southern tier and all of upstate New York. So it's very critical.
What would you like to achieve as a member of SUNY Best?
What I would like is to continue to develop the programs. I'd like us to bring forward best practices from around the country in the things that are critical to us. I would like to incent a greater involvement by the community in both economic development and well-being. And the final analysis is really us, our cumulative efforts that are required to make our community better. So anything that SUNY Best and we working together can do to do that is a step forward. Binghamton University and SUNY Broome are very, very key to our progress. And the other thing that I would offer is that we're in a worldwide competition for jobs and resources. And we've seen that impact already, and it's going to continue for the next 20 or 30 years or even longer. And so there has to be a sense of urgency, I think, in going forward with both the issues that we're trying to resolve and the opportunities that we have in front of us. We have to be more collaborative, more innovative. We have to make much higher use of the volunteer resources than we have in the community.